Welcome to That Just Doesn't Make Sense, the Nature of Things. Episode 20, Summary of Propaganda and Where We Are Today. Of all the people that were involved in the creation of propaganda that would convince the masses that the United States needed to enter World War I, Walter Lippmann is the man that I want to start with. He's considered to be the godfather of modern journalism. And here is what he actually put in writing. Lippmann argued that the common man cannot possibly grasp the complicated world he lives in, and that because of that, a specialized class has to manage public opinion for him. He wrote it plainly in his books, Public Opinion and the Phantom Public. He even gave it a name. He called it the Public Bewildered Herd. Wow. I want to be clear that those are his ideas in his own words, not my paraphrase, so that nobody can wave this away as me putting words into his mouth. I consider him the most influential person of the group that started down the narrative road. He convinced the powers that be that it is the direction the world now needs to stay on. Through my research while preparing for this episode, I was absolutely floored when I discovered the following. My opinion throughout my life leading up to this episode, I knew it did not stand up to reasoning in any way. I thought that people just did not see what I was talking about, and that I was crazy for thinking like that. And I must tell you, there were times when I questioned myself as well, saying to myself, maybe I am wrong about this. But no matter how many times I would sit down to reason it out, the outcome would always end up with the same conclusion, meaning it never made sense. I cannot believe it took starting this channel or podcast to finally discover that it's all true. And worse than that, it is written in their own words. Besides what we learned from our interview with Edward Bernays and Sigmund Freud, Walter Lippmann wrote a series of books that I'm going to recommend you check out. And I literally mean check out from the public library, because there has been enough paid to whomever gets that money now. Those books are as follows. Public Opinion from 1922. If you only read one, this is the one. A Preface to Politics from 1913. The Phantom Public from 1925. A Preface to Morals from 1929. The Good Society from 1937, and Essays in the Public Philosophy from 1955. There is also a study he co-authored called A Test of the News from 1920. That is worth your time. Woodrow Wilson, Walter Lippmann, Edward Bernays, and Sigmund Freud were all part of the origins of propaganda as we know it today. Even Nazi Germany used Edward Bernays' book, Crystallizing Public Opinion, from 1923 to help shape their own propaganda. And think about what that means. It was not stolen out of a private diary. It was a published book sitting out in the open where anybody, even the Nazis, could pick it up and use it. Now, Woodrow Wilson was the man who commissioned the group to come up with something to convince the masses of whatever, let alone entering World War I. But I believe the two most destructive, and I'm going to say that again, destructive people of the team, however, were Sigmund Freud and Walter Lippmann. Their contributions manipulate us every single day. I would like to say one of them more than the other, but Walter Lippmann and Bernays could not have accomplished their goal without Sigmund Freud. Now, according to Sigmund himself, he was not part of the team, so to speak. Bernays just used his writings and lectures to create propaganda. And Walter Lippmann used it to prop up a permanent elite class that runs everything in their own image. And it has been happening since the first day it was put into place. Every decision ever made since then, from the government, from big business, and especially from the media, is formed around it and promoted and protected by those same groups. I really did not want to do an episode like this, but because of what I was discovering while preparing for an interview with Walter Lippmann and the blatantly honest writings from these people, I became frustrated and astounded. How has it gone on so long, and it is getting much, much worse? Everything that is going on around us is on purpose for the same so-called greater good. The writings that I have encountered would make you believe that this is the right way to go, but none of it is based upon reality. It is based upon total confusion and control. Speaking not just to the Constitution, but humanity in general. Our country was formed based upon the idea that mankind can govern himself or themselves. Our form of government is based upon laws that are supposed to be equal to us all. But we all know that the laws are bent for the right people and enforced for the rest of us. But in order for a nation of laws to work, the laws have to be blind about who is committing the crimes. Instead, there are narratives created to distract us. Now, here's what I want to hand to you. You have just watched how division gets manufactured as a tool of management over and over for 100 years. It is an old playbook. So don't take my word for it where it shows today. Look around yourself. Ask yourself, what are the issues that divide us most right now? Then ask two questions that I always come back to. Who benefits from the division? And who is paying for the megaphone that keeps it in front of your face every single day? I am not going to hand you the list. You already know it. Reason it out the same way we just did with these men and their own writings. Now, I hope this episode was able to get you to say to yourself, maybe he has something there, or he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Either way, I do not care. I only care about you coming up with an answer that is based upon your own research and reasoning. And if you should be moved to, post a comment regarding it and discuss it with another, or discuss it, and we'll discuss it in another episode. Sorry about that. Thank you for watching and listening, and do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And please hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next one.